Before I start the show, this Sunday, April 12th at Mount Seymour, there's a gathering to remember Jeff Keenan from noon till 4 p.m. Come celebrate Jeff with a rundown dark run and a hangout with some of the raddest snowboarders on the planet. The FNRad Snowboard Podcast is presented by FlowJoy Water. Burton Snowboards offers the best boards, boots, bindings, outerwear, gloves, first layer, helmets, goggles, and more. Burton products work because they're designed and tested by snowboarders who ride. If you live in Vancouver, check out the new Burton flagship store on 4th Avenue at Burrard. Hey listeners, this one's for you. Upline Brewing is beer for snowboarders by longtime Pacific Northwest shredder and FNRad listener Carl Montoya, who started Upline so you can crack a cold one anytime. No buzz, no slowdown, just good vibes. Unlike most NA beers, these actually taste legit and they're brewed with adaptogens for a mellow uplift. The Steezy Golden Lager and Crushin' IPA come in at just 25 and 50 calories and feature artwork from local legends like Quincy Quigg. Have one at lunch, grab another lap, hit the after party, and still wake up for first chair or the bank slalom podium. Drinking regular beers, toss some uplines into the lineup. The natural electrolytes help you stay hydrated and keep crushing. FNRad listeners score 15% off at uplinebrewing.com with code FNRAD, or set up a subscription, save more, and never run out. Upline Brewing, brewed to adapt, crafted to elevate. Fix Bindings are celebrating 10 years of Fix, and I've been using my Block 5s and Block 7s all year long and have had exactly 0 issues. No wonder Fix offers a lifetime warranty. From catboarding at Valhalla to yesterday's icy groomers, my Fix Bindings have been easy to get into and out of and 100% dependable the whole year. Get yourself a pair of Fix Bindings at a dealer near you or check out fixbindingco.com. Bluebird Coffee Tuning and Rentals in Squamish, BC is the coolest new stop just 20 seconds off the Sea to Sky Highway on your way to Whistler. Drop in for the world's best cup of coffee, killer smoothies, and a true local vibe born out of 90s snowboard culture and music. They offer performance ski and snowboard tunes with state-of-the-art equipment. They've got premium rental fleets of Jones, Solomon, Libtech, and Burton, including Burton Step-Ons. And if you haven't gotten yourself one yet, Bluebird will even sell you a rad power bike. These bikes are so fun. For a blend of expert knowledge, convenience, and a lot of charm, stop in and say hi to Bluebird, the raddest mandatory new stop on your way to Whistler. Lock in and let go with Anon's magnetic face mask integration, built to keep you seamlessly covered from the elements, and Magnatech quick lens change technology that makes swapping lenses effortless even with gloves or mitts on. Enhance contrast and clarity with perceived lenses and get the most accurate perception of the surrounding environment regardless of light and weather conditions. Clarity starts where distraction ends. Full face coverage, complete presence. Check out Anon's helmets, goggles, and MFI face masks at an Anon dealer near you or at AnonOptics.com. Support also comes from the Pro Standard. Ken Achenbach has done it again with the push-button quick release for step-on bindings. Get them at ProStandard.com before they sell out. Pacific Border, Vancouver's premium snow skate and surf shop on West 4th Avenue. Check out PacificBorder.com. And 1910, the collaborative artworks of Jamie Lynn and Scof, two friends on a creative journey together, bonded by their love of art, music, and snowboarding. Go to the number 9teen10.com for their latest collection. We need to thank our friends at Mount Seymour, Grouse Mountain, and Cypress Mountain for their continued support of FNRad, as well as Essential Toothpaste Tabs. I love them. I use them. Go buy them today. Circe Wallace is the Michael Jordan of women's snowboarding. Her signature model Van snowboard boots sold more than the Jamie Lynn, Daniel Frank, and Shaun Palmer pro models combined. She's a snowboard agent representing pros like Travis Rice and Torah Bright, and a producer of movies, documentaries, and TV shows. Plus, she's one of the core team at Natural Selection, and she still rips on a snowboard. I was super stoked to sit down with Circe Wallace for an interview up at Revelstoke Mountain Resort.
I think women's sports is really having a moment, and snowboarding is, and people like Jess Kimura are really pushing forward. And between her and Robin Van Gyn and everything that is that electric energy around women's sports, is a bit of the zeitgeist, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
And I think we're really seeing women take the lead and working diligently to close the gap in development and access, which I think is always a challenge, especially when we're in an environment where there's been so much economic contraction in the space.
Totally.
So, to be able to keep forging ahead. I mean, I think that's the thing a lot of people don't really realize, like everything from whether it's the Wayward Project or even NST or Uninvited or any of them, like, they're not like making people tons of money.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not profit centers.
Right.
These initiatives are real investment from us collectively into continuing to build community and create environments that are exciting to watch and opportunity for girls and women.
I think catching that young girl's eye where they see themselves reflected. My favorite part of the movie, Wayward, is when Jess says, I used to watch the guys who looked a little more girly and squint my eyes and imagine.
And then I could pretend that they were.
So rad.
Yeah, it is so rad.
Yeah.
It's really rad. And I mean, I don't know, you watched Zoe's run.
It's insane.
Yesterday, and I feel that's on par with the men.
Yes,
like
it
there
is.
It's stylistically, in terms of combination of tricks and technicality and getting into some exposure, like
the size of the things she was doing.
I think, and Elena last year was just absolutely blew my mind. Like I just feel like, and in all honesty, in previous years, sometimes it was a challenge. Like there was still a gap in terms of watching the women compete and watching the men, like in terms of speed or amplitude or all of those things. And now I feel like over the last couple of years, we're really on even field here. And that is just like so freaking cool to be a part of.
Yeah. There's no women T. There's no like women's separate course.
Yeah. I mean, we there's been a lot of criticism about not having an equal field. I think for anyone who's actually watched the event start to finish, it's really hard to get more runs in there.
Yep.
It's just really, really difficult. And I'm not saying that we all shouldn't have the goal to get there. That's by all means always the intention. But how we do that without bifurcating men and women or doing different days is really difficult. And I think that it's really important that the men and women are competing, on the same day in the same environment, the same energy.
Yeah.
I think it brings men into women's snowboarding in a way because they then see, because they're present, and what the gateway for them was maybe, a Mark McMorris or a Travis Rice, but the women performing is what I think so many people have come up to me this week and just been like, holy shit, the women.
Zoe, right? Like I was in that crowd. The crowd went the craziest for Zoe of all the athletes.
Yeah, and Shark is 7, and
Shark
it was
is 7
just
was
like
sick.
Sick.
Yeah.
And I think you even see like in the men's, it was Mark's 10 was so fun. Like every year we're starting to see more and more like technical trick progression. And it's really fun to see the juxtaposition of Olympics.
Yes.
And then to come straight into this.
Yes.
I just feel like there's no question it's a better representative of.
So I know in the past, and like 2 or 3 or 1 Olympics ago, the women's event was relegated to like, okay, a weather day. We're going to, whatever, shitty, icy conditions. We're going to run the women's today.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're talking to when you're saying we want the women running the same time as the men, right?
Exactly.
Like, you don't want it to be a second
you want everyone
day.
Who's there, everyone who's watching, everyone who's sitting in the stands of the Grand Amphitheater of Montana Bowl to be able to experience everyone's performance. And, it would just be, it is, and continues to be a challenge for us to figure out how to get it all in and it not be a 6, 7, 8 hour show.
Right. Yeah.
And we're running, tight on light. And it's just a really heavy lift. This event is.
Yeah. I don't know if other people, I know they had to. When you see it in real life, like I had to really check myself and be like, I can't believe that I thought that I would even ride down this.
Yeah.
Last year or the year before, being critical of the women snowboarding on it, and then seeing it in real life, I'm like, I've never seen anything that big in real life.
I've even had people tell us that on the broadcast, it doesn't really do it justice. Like you kind of actually need to come and experience see how really vertical it is in that lower section and bar fight and all of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we need to work on our angles a little bit for people to get a better perspective.
I don't
more course preview content, or I don't know. But
I don't want to be that critical guy, but that's kind of how I think.
It looks too playful on the broadcast.
Yeah, it looks like you want to be there. It's like, if I was there, maybe I would do that. Bar fight. I was looking at it going and asking someone in the crowd, like, somebody's done that might have never been done, and they're like, no, people do that.
Well, I will say Revelstoke Mountain has been so great. We've got Dustin Craven and Mateo up there working on summer course build and glading and creating a safer, more playful environment, but it's still pretty radical.
It's beyond. I think the thing that's exciting about it is if it stays in that same zone and the summer stuff gets little tweaks here and there, then we're going to start seeing people that have ridden it before with that extra year.
Yeah, you saw that this year.
You saw it this year, right?
You really did. There were certain players that really stood out because they've had experience on mountain, like Mateo, who is a rookie, but this is his home hill.
Yeah.
Certainly gave him an advantage on day
Bryn
one.
too, just having known the line, hitting it a couple of times.
Yeah, Bryn, you look at who made the podium, and all three of those riders on the men's side had experience.
Yeah.
In venue competing at NST, and Nils has been working for 4 years now for that win,
to get that win.
Maybe longer. Since Jackson, so probably 6 years. And that was really apparent, right? The experience and the knowledge of the terrain.
Just him,
and
his
same for Zoe.
confidence.
Zoe's had experience there. She's been here before and competed, and Billy was a rookie, standout. Holy smokes!
Oh my God, yeah, Billy was
what
like
a
the Bryn.
Rider.
Billy and Bryn,
the Canadians.
The Canadians that are obviously cut their teeth in the Whistler backcountry.
Yeah, totally.
And it's so much fun to watch. Yeah. One of the things that I noticed seeing the broadcast after, or on my phone, I watched because we left with 2 runs left to go because we wanted to get out before that insane crowd.
Sure.
So going back and watching those 2 runs, the mic on the rider gives a completely different experience than when you're in the thing. So if you're at home and you're thinking, oh man, I didn't get the full experience of being at the spot,
right?
You got a little bonus being able to hear the running dialogue of Bryn going, okay, well, let's give him a show. Let's, or whatever. It's such a fun production, and you guys do such an insanely good job on it.
Thank you. It really takes a village. We have a really good team. I feel like this was, I actually don't know because I haven't watched the broadcast because obviously I'm in the field, but from all the feedback I've gotten, that this year was the best broadcast ever.
It would have to be.
So I feel really good about that, and I feel like, between what Liam's doing up top and Travis in there filling holes and the fact that we got a reset. So I just think I think we center athletes, and that's always been part of our value proposition, that we want to really listen and build the best environment possible for them to do what they're capable of in the natural environment. And I think, it is a radical undertaking. And every year we pull it off. Travis always says he doesn't believe in luck. And I don't know if it's like the land acknowledgement ceremonies or like the matriarchal First Nations thing we did this year. Like, I really feel like there's something about, the magic that comes together. And I'm always very, very deeply relieved when everyone walks away healthy.
I know. Yeah, that definitely feels like,
Yeah, one of these years we're going to get skunked. It's been pretty radical. I won't say luck, but.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are aligned with right.
Thank you, God, more please.
Yeah. You, so your experience with pre-FIS competition snowboarding has its DNA imprint in this event. Like, I noticed that. Like, it can't be said enough. Like, FIS stole snowboarding from the snowboard community. I don't think snowboarders these days know it. The listeners of the show probably know. But like, everything sucked after the Olympics as far as competition. Like, it just kind of, the tricks got harder and the purses got less.
It's all subjective. Judged events are always like that. And I feel like if you look historically in anything from ice skating to, whatever, when it is subjective in that way, it's really hard to put it in something like snowboarding, which is so based on creative approach and the uniqueness of the environment, and you try to put that in a static one. It's really hard. And I think that I'm really grateful, and that's really why Travis was so motivated to offer something better, because it's not truly representative of what's so magical and fun and thrilling about snowboarding. Like, really, we're all on the hunt for a POW day to go jump off a little thing and land in
totally,
something soft and beautiful, and the sun and snow is glistening, and all of the things that, like, at least for me, are why I love snowboarding so much. Like, even from my childhood memories of being at Hoodoo or night skiing at Snoqualmie Pass while it's snowing, or being in Hokkaido night skiing, or those are like the core memories and moments that just make you feel at one, with your board and in your environment that is nature. And I just don't think that there's anything better in the whole world than that. And that's not what traditional competitive snowboarding is. And I don't know that it ever would have been in that kind of half pipe, or, that's one of the biggest challenges that we have with NST, is that because we center athletes and environment, and we wait for the best days, we have an 7-day hold. And as a result of that, we don't have a static airtime and date. So we're not on, we can't program it and distribute it like a football game.
Right.
Or a FIS event. Right.
And what's the most watched event in the Olympics for snowboarding is the race. Yeah. Because people understand it. It's the opposite. It's
really easy to get.
It's locked on 1 o'clock this time.
Totally.
The fastest guy wins. You don't need any knowledge of wait, what? Backwards? These guys are going backwards? Is it harder backwards? Is it easier? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're the polar opposite of the race.
Yeah.
Every single thing is up in the air.
Yeah.
The visibility.
And we have to run the production like that. We have to book satellite time. And I mean, it is a wild, someone could come do a BTS of how crazy,
it's insane
behind the scenes of what it is to pull something like this off. I think would be a really interesting and kind of introspective.
You want Mac Dog, or get Mike Hatchett up here to do an old school snowboard video style of what the hell is going on back there? Yeah, because I've seen you guys running around all week, and it's gnarly.
It's pretty crazy.
But I love that. I love that it's that you're doing that complete opposite of a race course, where it's all the powder is groomed down and iced. They throw salt on it to make it faster, want. Yeah. It's ruined. It's
there's different kind of risk, right?
Yes, right.
I mean, you see what these guys and girls are doing, and there is a lot of lines of consequence. so it's a different kind of risk.
Having the crowd there this year would have been a big pump up for the riders.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
if you crest
I guess
that
they could
thing
hear
and it's
it.
just like, wow, everybody is freaking out.
The stadium was going off.
Yeah, and
it was
watching
really cool.
on you did it perfectly with the big screen at the bottom. You're watching,
that was a challenge for us historically, like getting all of the visibility for the fans. Who, we that was a real solve for us, and especially a monitor or screen that was big enough for everyone, even sitting back on the bench, up there, could see. So that definitely helps. And then you kind of. You see them coming. Where are they? And then
you follow
like,
the drone.
Yeah,
there they are.
Yeah.
And when you see them,
but you're not missing anything because you go back and forth, and then we've got the replay.
It was the most exciting thing that I've ever watched.
Yeah,
cool. Definitely. As soon as they come over that crest, and
I feel the same.
I have goosebumps
thrilling.
thinking about it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really, really awesome. So I guess there's going to be more. I'm hoping there's more.
Oh yeah. We're not. I feel like we've really found our stride a bit.
Yeah. Now you've got mountain biking, surfing,
and ski.
Mm-hmm. And are you going to do ski? I couldn't even get it out. Ski. I don't know why I'm still so
resistant.
Anti-ski.
Yeah, I don't know. They needed something like this.
They did. And surfing,
there's a lot of enthusiasm for it.
Surfing was super stoked from, the limited that I've heard.
Yeah.
I keep saying the Sterling Silver podcast because I love Pinch My Salt.
Yeah. He's hilarious.
Hearing his positive take on NST coming in and being like, this is a great
I think
contest.
I might have missed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to get the clip because it's so good. And
cool. Thanks, Spencer.
And I think that it's invigorating for all sports. So for us, it's the same thing in snowboarding as always.
Yeah.
Like if Red Bull brings the money and the energy, then they're investing in snowboarding, then we're happy.
That's right.
Big money coming into snowboarding, we're stoked. So if NST gets this huge global
and it's not big money anymore.
We're stoked.
We're just trying to get enough to pull it off. Mm-hmm. So it's still a battle every day. We're living in strange times.
Oof.
We've got a lot of climate change factors, and this year, it's like 85 in Salt Lake today. So
that's crazy.
It's like the temperature fluctuations and things that we're dealing with, and we had so many avalanche deaths in our community this year. Like it's only going to get weirder and warmer. So I just think. This is our love letter to snowboarding, and if I stopped doing NST tomorrow, I would feel so ridiculously proud of what we've done and the opportunity that we've given athletes to take a different path. Mm-hmm. It's not just stacking clips, it's not just competing, and then being able to create environments for Zoe or Jared Elston or Mateo or Bimo or Travis really just pulled this out of his brain and heart, and it's really fun to see that those kids don't have to go compete at FIS events and still have a viable career.
It's super sick. Well, you probably have to get going. That's like a period on the sentence of a brief conversation about the state of snowboarding, and you've been there from the absolute start. I mean, not the
84 is pretty early.
Oh my God, that's so early.
Pretty early.
Yeah, and you've been advocating for snowboard driven events, snowboard run. Everything.
Yeah.
And then the women's side of it.
Yeah.
The whole time. So thank you very much on behalf of the whole community. And thanks for keeping at us even when, we had pictures of Victoria Jalouse on our wall because we thought you girls were supposed to be sexy. As opposed to realizing that those pictures were for each other, for girls, to inspire girls to go snowboarding and have a viable career as a snowboarder.
If sexy was the gateway for respect of your snowboarding, fine. I think I probably even leveraged or objectified myself a little bit to get attention because you do whatever it takes to be seen.
Yeah.
I think we're more mature now. I think, men respect, and anyone would watch the women's event here and just be like, holy shit, Like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's, we're there. And I just think that there's as many, fans of female snowboarders that are men or boys as there are girls now, and I think that's a real shift culturally.
The viewership for spectator events is it's skewed towards men. Men like to see sport,
sure,
and so
but that's where all the growth is. That's where all the opportunity is, and I just think that hopefully it's all a part of a more balanced culture and community, and I think. I think we're really close.
Yeah, I think we're really close. When I spoke with Chris Rasman about it years and years ago, after Jess, taught me. I asked him, like, are American snowboarders just physically better than Canadians? Like, if you're born in America, does that mean you're just predisposed to be a better snowboarder? And he goes, well, no. I mean, they get more support down there. I go, that's it. That's the only thing.
And I don't even know that that's true anymore. And I look at the Canadian field.
Right,
like,
the Canadian field.
It's ridiculous.
At that time, it was like so difficult for Canadian because they were very adjacent to the one Canadian on the team. Okay, we got our Canadian guy. Now it's becoming more of a meritocracy. And so you're going to see... The team that has Zoe on there is probably going to have a bunch more girls on there because, like, girls sell stuff. Yeah. Is what it comes down to. And that guys are watching this, interested in the outcome. Yeah. That's the big thing. That's the big shift. I think this generation is just way more equitable that way anyway.
I do too. I think we've had an evolution of consciousness about... I don't know. There's plenty of far right culture that continues to degrade our position in the world. But I think we're not going anywhere. So, no. And I think if you look, at women in leadership or in sport, especially when it's not true that women don't sell products. It's not those kind of things. Like now we have everything so data driven. We know we have hard data on stuff, and so there's a lot of proof.
That's a good
of what's true or not in that way.
I remember living through the women's specific gear revolution. Yeah, because it was there. The guys who knew what the sales numbers were still old men that were running these shops a lot of the time. Yeah, I
mean, there's still a ton of that. But I think when it comes down to like the data and who's buying what, and then you're reacting to that, we didn't have that kind of information, in the early 90s. That stuff didn't start popping until, early 2000s. Totally. And so now I think the proof is in the pudding, and I think we're seeing that across all of sport. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of interest and a lot of enthusiasm.
That's super sick. Well, thanks for doing the show.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. It was fun to take a run with you. And
that was
the next
fun.
One.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That was the best run of the year. FNRad shoutouts this week to Circe Wallace. Thanks for everything you do. Congratulations to listener Mitch Marujo. He won the PJ Gustafson Pro Model Death Label Snowboard Plus Bindings. And extra special thanks to Brian Michaels of Bluebird Coffee Tuning and Rentals up in Squamish for pulling off his first annual Backcountry Bash on Brome Ridge. Congratulations to Dylan Young for winning the jump and hip jam. I still have first degree sunburn and a huge smile on my face. Can't wait for next year. Be sure to come back next week for more FNRad snowboarding presented by FlowJoy Water and brought to you by FNRad Productions.